Good morning, everybody. I'm out in the water, and I can say it's one of the worst days fishing and crabbing that I've had out here. I think part of the reason is we've got some big tidal swings, some big king tides. We've got 8 foot, 9 foot, I think almost 10 foot tidal exchanges. Kind of happening yesterday, today. I don't know how long that'll extend for. And there's a ton of debris on the bottom. So when I'm fishing, if I'm not catching fish mid-water, what I'm doing is I'm pitching ahead into the current, the current's coming towards me, pitching into it, and then just hit the bottom and bounce the bottom, kind of walk it along there and pull rock fish off of there. It's typically what I do. If they're not hanging mid-water, which they're not, you can usually get them off the bottom. Well, we can't get them off the bottom right now because there's so much grass, so much debris. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm wondering if it's just stuff from the beaches and whatnot that's coming in. Like I say, I think it was an 8.5 foot exchange or something. I'm not even sure, but it was a big exchange. And almost every cast, I'm coming up with grass. I had a big, beautiful black rockfish. I was just heaving him in the boat, and my line snapped. A fairly new knot, hadn't tangled in anything, so I don't know what the issue was with that, but lost him. And I've been crabbing for about 15 minutes and have not got a single keeper crab. And I'm using rings. Remember, I'm using rings. And typically, you get at least 1 or 2 right off the get-go. So we'll do it a while longer. It's a beautiful day. I think all the nights of fishing have finally caught up to me, and I'm just tired. I've had minimal caffeine this week, and that factors in as well. Had none today. That was a dumb call, but beautiful day. It's tough to beat this. Well, actually, why don't I just take y'all with me? Why don't we see if we can go pull a crab ring. I don't know how it'll show up on the camera, but you'll see the janky redneck setup I've got. And this has been in 15-ish minutes. I mean, this is a spot where I always do really well, and I'm just, pull it up. There's like one tiny Dungeness in there and a couple red rock. That is not a good sign. DJ, oh, don't bite me. Pinch. I don't know. So there's keeper crab and there's ODFW crab. And the ones that go to seat, buddy. They go to seat. And the ones that are just barely under legal, we call those ODFW crab, because we think that in a secret lab, they've concocted and genetically engineered crab that only grow to just under legal size. Keeper! Yay! So, feel good about that. I might have 2 keepers in here. Okay. The tide is turning. Figuratively and literally. Another keeper. Well into being a keeper. Actually, here, let's do a thing. Don't have any females. I was going to do a male-female comparison. So, on the underside of most of our crab species, you see right here, we've got this little flap. It's an abdominal flap, and in this one on a male, it's narrow, and it's kind of shaped like a lighthouse. Well, that's a male crab. A female has a similar abdominal flap, except it's a lot wider, and she uses that to cover her eggs. She lays her eggs. They hang onto her underneath. There's a bunch of little hair, little cilia and stuff, and I guess they stay onto there, and then she puts that flap over top of it, and that kind of protects them, but better than nothing. But okay, so 2 keepers. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. We'll do this for a while. Once the tide changes and starts going out, we'll start fishing some more. But yeah, fishing sucked. Like I said, I hooked up 3, lost one right at the boat, had another one on for a couple cranks, you know, set the hook, had him about 2-3 reels, lost him. He was a greenling. You can tell by the way they feel. They kind of hit and they start pulling, they go squirrely, and they're usually not hooked really well. A lot of times, and I haven't seen anything scientific to prove this, but I have a theory, I've postulated a theory that they're very aggressive fish. And mind you, it's not even just a theory, because I've run cameras under there and I've watched them on my lure where they kind of come along and then they hit it with the shoulder and then try to knock it down. Like, they're not biting it, they're just ticked at it. And I think that's sometimes how you hook them up bad. And always check beside your seat for stowaways. Well, you know what? Let's throw this back out. And while I've got y'all here, we'll go pull another one. So I'm in about 30 feet of water. I'm running about 35 feet of rope, plus a 6 to 10 foot trailer. This one is one of my really deep water ones, which has a lot of rope. I mean, for a bay, it's deep water, 65 feet. But this is not sinking rope, so I'll show you what I've done. Sinker with a long line snap on it so that it holds that line down and you don't have people having to have issues with floating line getting caught in my stuff, or even my boat get caught in my stuff. Now this one's got some weight to it. Okay. No, not really. Maybe a keeper. Maybe. I feel like he is. Okay. 3 keepers. I feel pretty good about that. Oh, okay. Here's the female. So, based on what I just told y'all, if you're paying attention, which one's a female, which one's a male? Male, female. See the abdominal flaps? See on this guy how it's narrow? See on her how it's wide? That is the apparatus by which she holds her eggs. Pretty cool. We could do this remote control thing. That'd be nice. Are you talking about the remote on the boat? I'll tell you what, I can't fish without it, but there you go. Male, narrow abdominal flap. Female. And contrary to popular belief, they cannot identify as each other, as according to ODFW regulations. Sometimes you get big females and you wish they were big males, but they can't do that. So that's just me being a jerk. But it's kind of cool. You can see in her mouth, she's got, you can see a fish scale from eating the bait I put out for him. So cool. Okay. Little one here. Little baby boy crab. We got a barnacle on him. Get that barnacle off for him. Nope, it's on there pretty good. I don't like keeping him out of the water any longer than I have to. So again, having floating rope on this really long one, I take the long line snap with the weight, and it was like 6 ounces or something. It's enough to hold it down. Actually, the rope is sinking pretty good, but I'll have that. And then let's talk about this for a second. Jeez Louise. Scared the daylights out of me. Did you see that? Had a lot of buoys pulled down in hard running water, and it happens a lot, and we've all lost gear, and every time I lose gear I 100% know that somebody stole it, and then 6 hours later it pops back up on the title exchange. I'm not saying those of you out there that have lost a crab pot or a crab ring or what have you didn't have it stolen. But honestly, like I will contend that 95 to 99% of the ones that we all think are stolen, myself included, just get washed under. And sometimes they get washed under. With the buoys, you get a big piece of kelp or something on it, and it grabs it and pulls it. And then it goes under, and it can actually drag your gear. So there's a spot here called the cribs. I'll turn the camera around so you can kind of see. Well, you can't really see because of the chair and stuff, but off in the distance, there's a place out there where it's a conveyance or a convergence, pardon me, of rocks where currents kind of come in, and there's always crab pots lost in there. And I'll be honest, I've cut a few of them loose. I fish a lot at night, and I give it about a week to 2 weeks. I'll try to pull them, you know, and I'll put them up on the beach. I'll put them on the docks or something like that, if I know they're abandoned and they can come out. But 1 out of every 100 can get pulled out. The rest are sanded in, and you can tell because there's starting to be like barnacles and stuff. There's algae and things growing on the buoy, so it's not like a nice clean white buoy. It's just filthy and encrusted with stuff. So at that point, typically after a couple weeks, I'll pull as much line as I can and then cut it low, and then just take the buoy, throw it on the dock, or throw it near a dumpster in the marina. It's a hazard to navigation at that point. I'm not trying to take anybody's stuff. If I could recover it, I would, but it's sanded in there. So a lot of times your stuff does get pulled. It just gets moved. It gets lost. It's not always stolen. And I've had ones out here. I've been out here with the love of my life. I've been out here with Hunter where I've been like, no, I think those sons of guns were, those guys in that boat, they were hanging around our stuff. I know they took it. Let's follow them back to the dock. And then half an hour later, whoop, up this comes. It's like, ooh, I feel like a bad guy. Something that really prevents that, mitigates that to a great degree anyway, is a trailer buoy. Just a little smaller buoy on light line. This is tuna cord, and attached to that. And even when this thing is pulled down in that real strong current, that tidal exchange or something grabs it, this typically will be bobbing along up the surface. So that's a little tip. Here's another thing. We all disagree with this. Everybody has their own reason why. I run my buoys pointy side down towards the ocean. My rationale and my thought being that as that current goes by, in terms of hydrodynamics, right, in terms of physics, there's less resistance. So it kind of runs along. That's why cars and race cars and stuff are pointy. That's why rockets don't have big flat noses. And when you run them like this, flat side down, and a lot of the commercial ones you buy, and I don't know the reason why, but they're flat side down, well, that water grabs it and pulls it. When that current goes, this thing descends a lot quicker. I accidentally put one of these on backwards one time, or the right way according to a lot of other people. And it was in my string. I think I had 5 or 6 in the water, and the one that was backwards like this was the only one that was down deep in the water. This one that was more streamlined, more hydrodynamic, you know, aerodynamics of water, actually was able to stay up, where that other one was pulled down. So do what you want with that. Again, there's no right, there's no wrong, just my opinion on it, but food for thought. I don't know. So, yeah, that was fun. I'm glad you're all along with me. Now that I got some crab. So, take out the handy dandy remote. Feel the rain starting to come back in. Off in the distance, it's getting gray and nasty again. And We'll go start the first string. The nice thing with running rings versus pots or traps or any other method like that is that you can turn and burn them pretty quick. So typically, you know, if there's 2 of us in here, I run 5, just because 5 sits on the back deck the best. And by the time that 5th one is in the water, we go back and pull. And then we just keep that routine going. We don't let them soak per se. We just pull, run, and do that whole thing. And that usually gives us enough time. There's enough soak time between that they'll usually fill up pretty good. And again, that's, you know, that's a short period of time. Got you with me. I might as well pull this next one. So I've got 3. You're allowed 3 methods of capture by law, recreationally in the state of Oregon. So if I had 2 pots or rings, or if I had 1 pot, 1 ring, and 1 trap, that's your 3 maximum. If I have 2 things in the water with buoys and I'm standing on the shore and I'm casting one of those castables, that's 3. 3. And contrary to popular belief, or maybe not popular belief, but some belief, when you're crabbing with a crab snare on the end of your fishing reel, you do not need a fishing license. You're crabbing, you are not fishing. Okay, this is the one that had nothing, so let's see what we got. I don't know if it's current or crab, but it's heavy. Holy shnikes. What's going on here? Could be current. Oh no, it's crab. Oh. This is retarded. Oh my gosh, look at that. I don't know if y'all can see that. Look at that. Oh yeah, I bet I got it. Okay. I'm glad I kept y'all with me, because when I said crabbing sucked, I was wrong. Good way to hold them is by the back. Or, you know, I mean, as long as you control these front claws, that's all that matters. But see the back? Again, we talked about the male, the abdominal flap. But these 2 little swimmer legs they've got back here. And you have to be careful. These fingers go too far forward, they can get you. So, just like that. And so, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Close. Close. Oh. Jumbo. 6. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's like it's off the scale. 7. Look at that. 8. So, oh, this is an ODFW crab, where they're scientifically engineered to be just undersized. And that's it on that one. The rest are all throwbacks. 9. Okay, so the only downside to using rings is that the rings are not discriminatory. They will hold all the crab. They'll hold the red rock, they'll hold the Dungeness, they'll hold the small ones, the big ones. So the chances of getting pinched are a little greater than anything else. You can kind of take it, shake it, and dump it, but it doesn't always work that well. Yeah, there's still some in here, but I don't care. And you gotta kind of just let it go down on its own as well. If you try to jack with it and make it land right side up, that current can often tip it over on its side. Well, let's go round up a limit, shall we? I was falling asleep till the crabbing got good. Big old seal over here. He'll start stealing my bait. So, according to NOAA, according to the federal government guidelines, you can use non-lethal deterrents on pinnipeds even as a recreational angler or shellfisher. So if you're out and seals and sea lions are jacking with you, you can use slingshots, you can use paintball guns, you can use arrows with the big rubber blunts on the end. You can use all kinds of methods to deter pinnipeds, i.e. seals and sea lions, from messing with your catch. 100%. I'll stand beside you in court on that one. And it was the NOAA law enforcement folks that brought that to our attention. ODFW never let us know. In fact, they don't want you to know. Maybe one keeper in there. This is the first one we pulled. Well into keeper size. So what do we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more for the win. That guy was underneath. That might even be a keeper. Well, I'm gonna throw this back. And those small ones, a lot of them will just kind of let themselves loose as it sinks back down to bottom. Hang on. Oh, ODFW specifically specially engineered crab to be just under legal size. All right, let's go get the other one. But you can see how short a soak that is. It's not even a soak, it's just you're making the rounds. I'd like to get 2 more. I would love to catch a full limit with y'all watching. Come on, 2 keepers. Come on. No. Maybe 1. Maybe. But, I mean, look at that. Look at the amount of crab in there. Oh, sorry, bud. Negative. here is a red rock, like a hyper aggressive crab compared to a Dungeness. But I mean, they're both small, but see the difference? I mean, the color alone. Same abdominal flap, same kind of deal they have going on. Remember this little guy? Put him on. Just, you know, a courtesy and safety thing. Another safety thing for me that I'm kind of control freak about is all this stuff. Eelgrass and whatnot, super slippery out here. And when you're running solo like I am today, you certainly don't want to go in the water. Although it's warmer today than it's been in months that I've been out here. It's 53.3 degrees right now, that water is. It's still cold. Ah, the rain's coming down, dang it. I really want to get a limit with you folks. I think that tide has changed. Well, maybe not. I'm power 10 on the electric, and I'm doing 3.13 miles an hour. So still a little bit of incoming current, and the buoys are still going that way. As you can see off in the distance, it's starting to come in, especially over Charlestown. And yes, I say Charlestown on purpose because it sounds way cooler than Charleston. Come on, two keepers so we can wrap this up. Yeah, it feels pretty heavy. Again, sometimes it's hard to tell if it's current or crab. I think this is maybe crab. Oh yeah, it's crab. Oh yeah, it's crab. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we're done. Always carry extras of these. Oh, jumbo. That's a keeper. So what I'm going to do is, as I'm getting rid of these, I'm going to get rid of all the small ones. And I know I've got a limit now. In fact, I have over a limit in my possession, but you know, I'm in the act of repatriating them. So I'll do a quick look-see in the live well and see if any of these are bigger than the ones I have in there, and then swap them out. Help me to help you. Oh. Didn't we just talk about keeping extras? That was not planned. Come on. What? Like this is a big, stout, healthy crab, but these ones are bigger. So try to find one that's just a squeaker. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, we gotta put one more in. Oh, I wish you could see that. Wow. I know there's one in here that's just over. I'll call it that one. And then we got some beauties. I'll show you the tank here in a second. Come on, guys. So here's an interesting thing that I've found over the years, and this is, I mean, we've proven this. High tide, they're far more aggressive than low tide. They're we can catch a lot on low tide. In fact, typically we do catch them on low tide. But at high tide, they're way more aggressive. And we first saw that at Fisherman's Wharf down on the dock when they had their big live tank. When the high tide would come in, those crab would go nuts. And as the tide receded, it would kind of chill out. And it was like that every day. And we noticed it out here too. But you can see it's raining now. Let's turn this around. See, I have a bunch of questions and stuff here. I will get to that later. It's hard to see when we're doing it out here, but there you go. Limited Dungeness crab in no time at all. And that was like chatting and lollygagging and doing all that stuff. So give them some fresh water, or salt water, but how cool. All right, folks, have a good one, everybody. The rains are coming. All right, take care, folks. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America.